Good morning, everybody. All right, so another week of nauseating economic news out of the way. Where do we go from here? Well, we look at the charts. So we got the heads up a week ago, risk increase for longs, and we see market's been correcting. So far, really not a big deal, depending on where you look. Um, Other markets corrected long before the warning. That's the intermarket analysis part of what we do. So things come down a little bit, and I'm just reviewing here. Spiders, gap down, gap down yesterday, and coming down to the 20 MA, some support held there. So now new numbers come out, and basically they were like, "What's the big deal?" Anyway, I think it was why the market go up if it wasn't a big deal. I think just a relief that it wasn't bad, but they weren't good. So things come down a few days, and I just assume, since it's had some support, it's a reason to buy. We'll see where it ends the day. Uh, However, gapping up to the top of a red bar, that's a plus. It's the start of possibly some type of a turn in this area. We'll see. Sentiment still has not come down to where we want it to. Breadth has come down to a little bit of an extreme level. Ideally, it would come down here. We'll have to see where the day ends, of course. Uh, Most times, gapping to the high of a red bar, after several down days, doesn't result in a, engulfing kind of big red bar to the downside. Or it's other news that's come out. Let me just take a peek here. Chicago PMI at 945. I don't know that, and some oil stuff. I don't know. I don't do much of anything. So we'll see where this is in another 25 minutes, how much it might pull back or the lack thereof as to where it will be at the open. And I said right now it was gapping to the top of the red bar. And there isn't a lot of, well, got some congestion there. It's like, let me just get the cursor there on the hourly chart. It's just gapping right up to that resistance area, but the depth of that retracement would suggest, to me anyway, that prices would likely to stay in the area, between here and here, you know, somewhere in between there. And so let's make that red. Somewhere between this range, give or take. Um, Significant support. Didn't quite get all the way down there yesterday. Got into the middle part, or give or take. So, little tiny bounce from there, and you see where it is. So I think, getting much further than here, you get a little bit, but you know, looking at the same congestion there on the 15-minute chart. Sometimes you expand things or contract things to get a better view of what is. But two areas of support and resistance on either side, and I'm guessing that the S&P will stay in between those two areas today. So let's see what the Qs are, since they're playing a little catch up. They haven't reached a destination yet, like maybe the 20 MA or the Sunfill gap. That's where the strength has been. You've got this rounding topping pattern, and it held there of that bottoming tail bar yesterday. And the gap up is in the bottom of the red bar. So nothing of significance there, as far as what was been showing strength. And we see some new accidents happening here this morning. We refer to accidents as when the internals reach a point where they tell us that there's increasing risk, and we start seeing stocks that are, reporting earnings and getting crushed. Those are a few of them out there, and we've seen a few others this week. And at other times where they're bullish, those gaps maybe they don't happen, or they rally from there. One thing we're going to be looking for at the end of the day is what this weekly bar looks like. Right now it's red, and just looking at where prices are for the moment, it wouldn't change that from being a bearish bar after several days up. In addition, sometimes we talk about reading momentum, strong momentum, right? And then the reversal day turned out to be a red bar ignored. Strong momentum, another move up, red bar. Slowing momentum, distance between the turns. And so those of you that are indicator aficionados, depending on the settings you have, you'll start to see bearish divergences between your indicator and the price, meaning a lower high on the indicator than what it was. But this is what indicators attempt to do. What we're just simply doing is looking at the distance between the turns and what kind of momentum there is. So, yeah, I saw that news, Alex. That was yesterday. That is so freaking retarded that they want to have the Ukrainians use weapons and go in there inside of Russia, which I guess this is what war is about. But these nut jobs in the White House are just looking to escalate this, it would seem. And I think at some point, Putin is going to have enough of this, and maybe that's exactly what they want. It's unfortunate that we have these radicals leading the country. It's upsetting, but nothing we can do about it. So let's focus on the markets. All righty. All right. SPX. Let me just double check since things are wiggling around a little bit here. I like the fact that they're whole numbers, and this would be gapping up based on where the spiders were before, right? Around the high of that bar. So kind of in the middle of the range on either side. Is it likely to go up to 5,300 today? No. Is it likely to go down here? Not such a authoritative no, but I don't think so. Like I said, I think it's going to stay in between those reference points, but I think it's extremely unlikely that it's going up to 5,300. And depending on the wiggles early on, 52.95 could be considered. We'll see how things shape up there, but yesterday's numbers weren't touched, and these numbers I don't think will get touched either. All right. Yesterday we talked about the week starting to show some relative strength, and clearly the week is the transports, and they found a few buyers there yesterday. We'll see what kind of follow through there is to that or not. The Dow led the way down. It's on this major support area, right? And we'll see what it does. We don't see much movement on diamonds, the DIA pre-market. So, but this is at a point where it came down really, really hard. And most times when prices come down as hard as these have, it's going to take a little while to stabilize. But many times, you get some stabilization and then it makes another leg lower. And we do the same thing that I just showed you, the distance between the turns. And so when you get this strong momentum, it typically goes down again. And then we see the distance between the turns for slowing momentum. And then does it start to make a bottom? Now, you see how ugly you get two bars here moving down. And I just want to take a peek at the monthly chart since it's the end of the month. And now, get rid of this. We've got a red bar and we've got a topping tail bar showing rejection of 40,000. So the stall bar, the slowing momentum, a narrow range bar, big red bar, retest, topping tail bar, That suggests it's going lower, but it's unlikely to go lower in the short term because it's on this major support on the daily chart. So it's probably going to do some backing and filling here for a little while. I mean, that doesn't mean it has to do it, but that's, when we look at charts, we look at what happened in the past. That's the essence of technical analysis and what typically happens when you have an arrangement of technicals like this in multiple time frames, that this would be likely to stall down here. So even though it could have another down move toward these pivots, or somewhere 38,000, who knows? The psychology behind it is, hey, this thing's falling, like a rock off the roof, where a buyer is going to be comfortable giving it a shot. You look to the left. That's the essence of that. And those that in MT Live are like, they don't get the idea of what a void is. Sharp price movement, void. Little time correction increases it. Sharp move up, void. And this is, kind of crazy, but it is crazy because not kind of crazy. What this is displaying, big down move, stall, big up move, big down move. This is like traders, institutions. They're just schizophrenic. It's like, oh my God, the sky is falling. Oh, wait. No, everything's okay. Back up. Oh yeah, the sky's falling again, all the way back down again. So this is insane, right? But hey, the things that we're experiencing and seeing happening around the world and in this country, and who's doing it, it's insane. We just have to get on the other side of the insanity and hope it changes. All right. Futures, on support, holding here, no big deal. When you see a move like this on a small time frame, it's like, oh, that's impressive. It is. Well, that's not very impressive. Hourly chart here is going sideways in a wide range bar. That leads me to think that things could lift up here a little bit. So that's just becomes a bias as to, just based on, I see a pattern like this, and whatever the time frame is, the longer the time frame, the would be the better. But a pattern with multiple pivot lows and, pivot high here and a wide range bar up is supportive to think that this could go higher. So maybe we can have a little bit more of a relief rally after this collapse. Russell was showing relative strength yesterday. Overall, it's just a mess. Pretty nice pop there. Strong. And it's up against getting close to some resistance. But so the biotechs, regional banks were showing, and I think even XLE was okay on the day. So they were doing better, and that helped lift the small caps. Bitcoin still coiling and just whip back and forth inside the prior bar's range. Up here, but not taking out any resistance. Just a big mess. Not much going on there. Gold up a little bit. Maybe worth the shot. Came down real hard, bottomed out, wide range bar up. We'll consider lighter. Silver has been the stronger, just not very attractive. Oil, just stay away. Just a big mess here. I forget, this is on the monthly chart. All right, so you can see, I don't know, is this a head and shoulders top? Is it just some kind of trading range? Stay away. Stay away. And SMHs, we got to see what they're going to do here. So they're starting to pull back. We talked about that yesterday. There'll be buyers on the pullback. It's gapping up here in the middle of the range. So what's going on here this morning? Things up a little bit. Some things look better than others. Excuse me. As to Maybe they move up a bit, down a bit. It'll be touch and go. XLF really not on significant support. I'd love to see it, you know, like down here before looking for some kind of a turn. That isn't very attractive, but it's gapping up. Well, I guess we'll just see what happens with these gap ups here. Tech came down yesterday. I pointed to Microsoft, uh, bearish gap down, and that continued to go down. So there's a crack in the tech armor there. We'll see how much follow through there is to that. And there's XLE was holding up yesterday. So holding up yesterday, but in the context of a larger time frame, it's meaningless. Was rallied up into the top of that bar, we'd have something to maybe consider. So, we'll just see how these things unfold here. I mean, interest rates that we always take a look at. Again, we were talking about this pullback and expecting a turn. We got the turn. Sharp move up, took out this pivot. It's pulling back here. We're in the middle of nowhere here, where the markets need to find their footing as to further corrective process, other news next week, more economic news, and we're just at this time a prisoner of the markets needing something to either enforce their belief of rate cuts, which have been diminishing, or those to totally evaporate. So we'll see how it goes. All yours, Dan. Yeah, Alex is telling me, not me, just putting in the green room, political uncertainty over the weekend, a lot of pro-Trump rallies. That's another insane thing, depending on what your belief is about Trump or not, which should be, doesn't matter, yes or no for him, but the weaponization of the justice system is another reason that this country is so effed up and should not be happening. And, could happen not to the same degree to any of us, but it's just terrible what's going on.
Yeah, I was shocked you didn't say anything about that earlier. So, yeah, as soon as I saw the news when I was out last night, Greg and I guess saw it at the same time we were out, and I said that the futures were only down 8. So I said it's a non-issue. They don't care. And this is Trump's company right here. So I just took a look at it, and I have no clue why it's rallying right now, but nothing to do with it. All right, let's look at alarms shop. We're working that as a bottoming pattern. My alarm went off. This would be a great pattern for a put spread. There's just no juice, unfortunately. McDonald's alarm. We right here on this breakout, we sold a 1 DTE put spread, and I moved the stop pre-market way down here. We can actually move it again up here and just bid a penny to close the short put, but just a Climo, and we drill down to a smaller time frame if you want to. The smaller you go down, the more aggressive you're trying to nail the turn. And in this case, I mean, of course, it could have gone up and failed, particularly because the day wasn't over. But in this case, worked like a well-tuned piano. All right. Meta. Why did I have a Meta alarm go off? I have no idea. But this is a trading range that I said eventually it looks like we could trade it up or down. Hood, we're in that. We got a covered call, so that's it on alarms. Let's go to earnings here. Dell. CNBC always cracks me up. They're minimum wage typists, what they put type on that lower third. It says, Dell down despite beating earnings. That's the best you could come up with. It's like they always like to fill in a blank. X is happening because Y, and it's just funny when they're like, "Well, I don't know what the Y is," but I'll be watching this for just it's an ugly gap, but it's a big gap. Zero DTE. Happy Friday, and I will be looking. I will be looking for a put spread if it takes out the high. Robert, I have not looked, but if you want to suggest a few, I'll be happy to look. Pavel on YouTube asking about Duolingo long over these highs. Yeah, it's a 1, 2, 3. It's fine with a void. I'm not sure how big the target will be. Is the problem. So it might be more of a day trade. GPS. Yeah, Jeff. Yeah, there's so many reversible errors. All the attorneys are saying, but yeah, it's a mockery in my opinion. So I'm just gonna stay out of it. All right, so Alex, remember this big old W bottom we talked about yesterday? So I definitely had a bullish bias, and I shorted and I gave it to Telegram, but I didn't post it. I forget which one I did. All right, I did a $1 wide, the 1918s for 16 cents. And that's the bet I was making, that this pattern was going to go up. I don't trade fundamentals. I had no idea. But as pattern traders, this is a very bullish W bottoming pattern. So I'm just going to let this one expire at full profit. I don't even feel like paying a penny. But I will on McDonald's because that's a $250 stock and more volatile. Marble, I was hoping this was going to be on my big gap down list for a zero DTE put spread, but wow, filled the gap already. So that messed it up. Now this one's just getting pounded and it is not bouncing pre-market. Um, Reminds me of this path yesterday. Look, big old gap down yesterday and just could not bounce very much. But I'll watch it. Sears doing it. Wow, there's a gap negated. Asian up. Zulu Sierra, another one of these cloud companies, got creamed yesterday and drove a number of stocks down with it. But I'm watching the whole sector. Gap and wow, that's a big gap. Man. So, without even looking, I know by definition, because this is 5 or more bars, it's going to be a big downside shakeout on the weekly chart. But nothing to do. The gap's too big. All right, this one's in my definite zero DTE gap and snap 30-minute high. I have it in the bottom right. Put spread and or day trade will decide in the green room in real time. NTAP slopping around the pattern. ESTC 105, bullish gap over a red bar, but no pattern. Possible condor. Alta, remember, Alex, we said, I think risk was to the upside on this, just, down so much. So I did not do anything. I was looking at the 360s or 40s. I forget, but yeah, let's watch that on a pullback. Papa Delta getting over this ugly red bar, but there's no void. DKS is a 1, 2, 3. So it is a big gap, but yesterday's bar, Aichi, is now making it acceptable, in my opinion, to trade it despite it being far from the 20. Because look at this beautiful 15-minute chart. So yeah, that's worth watching. AMBA 58.50, gap's too big. Guess it's gapping up, gave it up, no interest. Who? I don't see a gap. We'll come back. Vive 176, possible 0 DTE, 30-minute high. Costco, I'm actually shocked at $800 stock. Did not have a bigger expected move, particularly after running like this. But 30-minute low is a call spread idea. eBay, that's all the earnings. So okay, that's all the earnings. These are just other miscellaneous things now. eBay, we were talking yesterday in the green room. It's a bullish monthly, but it came down hard. But I'm going to keep this on the list for a possible longer term trade, and I wish it had better premium, because that would be a great candidate to sell puts on. This has earnings next week, June 5th. But great put spread, but no premium. Aflac, I'm hoping for a 1, 2, 3. UAL is a 1, 2, 3 with a gap negated and a void. That looks great. I have an alarm. Boeing, under yesterday's low, looked like a call spread, but there's too much news surrounding this thing with the FAA and all, so I'm not messing with it. Yeah, Don, I'm just gonna let mine expire at full profit. I don't even feel like paying a penny. Delta 20 asking about Lilly. Yeah, we talked about that yesterday. Yep. It trades wildly, but it is bullish. I was going to do a put spread, but they're too spready. Uniform, I'm just watching someday, one of these days, it will give us a reversal. Bumble, that's a sloppy buy setup. But Uber, it's in a downtrend, no question about it. But if it takes here, you got a small gap reversal, kind of a minor 1, 2, 3 over yesterday's high. All right, so my UAL alarm just went off. So this looks good. ACIW up alarm. All right, I'm just going to set a new alarm on UAL. We about 51.85. Workday up alarm. This was a Climo. We sold a put on. A Visa is triggering. I posted that as a put spread. I love trading the open. It kind of reminds me of a video game. It's like, you ready? You got alarms flying at you. You got open positions. You got orders. You're monitoring the internals. I like it. So we have a nice open profit in this now. UAL up alarm. Oh, Marvel gave it up big time. Wow, that's crazy moves on Marvel pre-market. Um, Look at this. All right, UAL looks fantastic. Market is a big old fat neutral right here after the gap up, but this, I say let's buy a 5-minute high. It's only 9:31. I really don't like trading the first 5 minutes. This, I love these gap negated like this with a price void. All right, where's our stop gonna be? About right here. Stop 49. Well, how about right here? The 50 MA. Stop 50 MA. All right. All right, Visa. All right, so Visa, let's wait 5-minute high, 271.71. Workday up alarm. Let me see where the thing is. 72. Workday's flying. You know, I actually was wondering why would Zulu Sierra blow out earnings. I was wondering why Workday was not up more pre-market actually. Workday 202, 197. So Greg, remember we talked about this yesterday? How quick we could make money on a put spread? I saw the gap in VFC this morning. I just didn't get to it pre-market, but that's there on my list. And our Tesla is still in the penalty box. Amazon's the worst. So we have a call spread on him, I think. We put on a lot of credit spreads yesterday. A ring up alarm. Yeah, we got Amazon call spread. All right, ring, nothing to do yet. It's an early alarm, but if it closes here, I like it over yesterday's high.
And did you check Google for a call spread?
I did yesterday. There was no juice. But I forget if I was checking 1 or 8, but I definitely mentioned it. Amazon looks great.
You know, XLK and SMH, if they had juice, ETFs. I think Tesla's going to be okay. So far, acting pretty good. And even coin would look great. Gave it all back. It gapped up today. And sometimes markets being ugly on a particular day, people just let me get the hell out of the way. It's kind of extreme, but from being wide green bars to being topping tail bars, and Tesla tails on either side. So,
You wait now. Right, so that triggered, it looks like. We posted ACIW alarm went off. Now we moved up yesterday's low, 34.37. Nary up alarm. We're in trail mode. Looks great.
yeah, and charter for a put spread,
He's usually
CHTR.
he's usually ridiculously spreading.
Huh?
Oscar Charlie up alarm. We have a put. We have naked puts.
Yeah, they are. 165 by 390.
Alex, I saw JD gap down, so I have an alarm of 30.20. So now I like it even better over yesterday's high. All right, Mary, let's move stop days low, 50.24. My alerts are going nuts here this morning. A lot more busy than I thought. THCM. I don't like that at all myself, except maybe day trade. CSIQ, we have long calls that expire today. So you know what? I'm thinking we just hit the bid here. Well, not hit the bid, hit the midpoint. We have 17 calls that expire today. The spreads friggin' are 175 by 450. So you know how we got to get out of this? Intrinsic value plus a dime. Does everyone, option traders, know what I just said? Or actually even a nickel because it's so deep in the money. All right, hold on. Actually, it made target a good on target 330. So, and that's actually where it is. Well, it's actually 340, but I'll go ahead and take the 330 target. Nice. Yeah. So, David, remind me at like 10:30, if you will. I'm just too busy to get into it now because I want to give you a full answer. Wow, nary up alarm again. Yeah, we're ringing. I gave it 5-minute high. All right, so there you can read that, David. That's just that's not an explanation, but that's what I verbally said. No, 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 no. Well, it's better if I show it to you, but yeah, go ahead. Why not? But I can explain it so much easier. Oh, Mary, that was a beautiful 1, 2, 3 down here, you all. Wait, that's been an easy one to manage. And we're long stock, so I don't have calls to worry about. Set an alarm at 51. I'm not going to even let it get down to the day's low. Ah, I forgot to look at BFC. Yeah, it was on my gap list. XLU. Yeah. Dash low alarm. Good. Oh, this means the half lot of the short triggered. We did a call spread yesterday. Let me see where my McDonald's puts are. I'm short the 250s for today. I'm just gonna see if I can close them at 2 cents. Let's close it. Correct. And that's intrinsic value. So hold on. So here, I'm gonna 17 calls were 175 by 450. So tell me what intrinsic value plus 5 cents is. We bought five. Ooh, that 5 minute high was, man, that thing ripped in 5 minutes. 52.50. And in that case, he could have been more aggressive to get on, but still going through the alarms here. Dash. Yeah. Half lot of the short stock. We did a call spread yesterday. Airing. Charlie. We're out of CSIQ. Run. We have puts. Alarm went off. Run spot run. 1540. Correct, David. So that's exact. So now you can read my post. I said our 330 was hit because it was all intrinsic value. And then I continued to say, try to sell it for intrinsic plus a nickel, which at the time was 345. Good. You learned something. Awesome. I like when you learn. All right. My pleasure. And see that also kind of supports you shouldn't never be shy, because then you don't get your question answered unless we happen just to answer it by answering somebody else's question. Right. run. We have June 21, 11 and a half, 9.5. Midpoint now is 14. We're still short this that we got from you, IG. If it closes like this, it's a beautiful ad on Monday. Hood, we have covered calls. That was perfect timing. Legging into we did the 23 and a halves for next week. Oscar Charlie run. This is our Tesla dog. UAL. All right, I got everything. Oh, well, yeah. And I already looked for puts on UAL and there's nothing. I looked yesterday. It was like a dime or something stupid. This is the old post. Texas. It's bullish as can be. I'm just iffy on the market. All right, let's look at all our credit spreads now. Amazon, I tighten the stop. Dash, we know about. Oh, D-Dog, I said 5 minute high. So let's do it now. I'm trying to do it because we're still in it. Ah, we met our target. Cool. Met our 5 cent target. Nice. That was a nice overnight trade. I said bid a nickel. Here, that was sent pre-market if you missed it. And that's right. Well, we're actually less than a nickel, like 3 cents, but good. Take it. Very nice. Greg, we made 86% return on CSIQ calls.
And can you please try and do a little better? This is a little disappointing.
And that was in last weekend's letter. And look at, you asked me when, kind of where do I get my targets, whatever, and I explain them. Look at that. I was 5 cents off the high as our target. And I gave that target yesterday. And part of it was they're expiring today, so I wanted to get out into strength. But very nice. Microsoft smooth stuff high 416. Nice sweetness and cues leading the way down today. It's because all the things. Amazon low alarm. Amazon. Dash low alarm. Amazon. Nike put spread doing fine. All right, this Dell doing nothing. And I totally forgot about all these new trades because I've been busy on this. My alarm's going on. But let's see how low we can go. And then I would do it right over this little pivot, 0 DTE. 220s. 220s are 55 naked. Wish there was more. Bitcoin new low in the day. Wow, nice out on CSIQ. Look at that. I go top in tail now. Nice out. Yeah, diamonds are the most. Interesting statistic. Applauds Trump's crypto commitment. Crypto losses. Yeah, I surely don't. I just, I'll trade the stocks and ETFs, but I'm not a believer in the currency or whatever the heck you call it. So funny. They have all these talking points and they just come out and spit out the same talking points about all the benefits of it. You mean you were long Netflix or you shorted it? I know you were long Wednesday, but I thought you took your money. Yeah, yeah. No, I thought I